Ladies and gentlemen and Twitch streamers, this is my interview with the curator of StarFaceRadio, Sithlordfelix.
Sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome to the Dick Buttons interviews a man that I came across when I started my journey on Twitch streams, which I was very new to. This is the host and creator of StarFaceRadio, known as Sithlordfelix. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you so much for having me. This is quite an honor. Actually, I never thought I'd be interviewed. This is cool.
Now, before we get into the Twitch stuff, because I have tons of questions, because like I said, I'm a newbie to that. I want to know, how did you get into that? Like, have you been doing it for a while? Because I just came into this about a month and a half ago. So when did you start?
Well, yeah, I definitely have a lot of time on you. I've been Twitch streaming since January of this year, so I haven't been in it much longer than you, honest. But all right, but to be fair, a little context. Failed YouTube streamer and content creator for about maybe 8 years, and it's funny. As soon as I get on Twitch, boom, off to the races. So
That's weird. I mean, like, I am finding it difficult myself with the podcast, and the podcast is on Spotify and everywhere else you get podcasts. But YouTube is a unique animal in that it's hard to get the algorithm to get you in front of the right people.
yeah, and that's YouTube's fault, not us. I'm actually kind of done. Like, I used to go through vidIQ. What hashtags should I put? It doesn't. I mean,
Right.
this kind of goes off, but maybe 1 or 2 episodes ago on my show, someone literally told me that I am in fact shadow banned in like France, and they were like, "Listen, I tried looking you up, can't find you." So
Really?
yeah, I'm dealing with that. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm kind of a degenerate.
I was
Like,
gonna say, what were you doing that got you shadow banned? I mean, what was going on?
to be honest, this is what I think happened. What I think happened was on Twitter, I got banned. This was before Elon, right? And basically, you're recording. This isn't live, so you can edit this out if you don't want to
Yeah,
go down this
no,
rabbit
I'm
hole.
cool.
But pretty much, I tweeted back at Elon Omar something about her, banging her brother. Essentially, one little joke like that. And then Twitch just put the axe on me. Boom, right? And then, then it really got harder on almost every other platform, almost immediately after. I mean, I don't have the behind the scenes info, but you can kind of get the gist. My takes didn't quite align with, I guess, the mainstream narrative. So yeah, they definitely had to put a pin on me, but which is weird because my Starface Radio channel is music, and
Right.
not much of it is political. Some of it is, but very, very little, like less than 1%.
I mean, this is America, Felix, right? We have freedom of speech. That stuff should not happen. I mean, I know it does, but
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah, and
it's sad.
it's the same with Elon, by the way. And listen, I'm a fan of Grok. Actually, most of my stuff I make with Grok, like the AI stuff. But that platform it's new boss, same as the old boss, in my opinion. I'm still like,
Right.
I don't want to say shadow banned, but like I don't get much. It's weird. Like the day he took over, I put out a tweet and it got like that, like 1,000 likes and like bunch of comments and almost like a week later went right back to normal. Like they were like, "Oh no, we messed something up." Nah, don't let this dude talk. He's an idiot.
Now I wanted to ask you too, because having been on your Twitch show or stream, whatever the terminology is,
Sure.
it
Yeah.
you have so many people on those streams. Did that happen like automatically, or did you have to build that audience?
It started bigger than like, all right. So like I said, with YouTube, if I ever tried to stream, it'd be like 1 or 2 viewers, 3 viewers, if I got lucky. And that was that. When I started with Twitch, now I have to give a shout out to AI Play, because I think with them and me getting introduced to the whole wheel concept and the show and their software and their site, uh something happened where I combined those two forces and almost immediately from my first stream I started getting like a lot of people watching. Like I was, for me it was, which is a lot, so I had like 10, 15 people that ended up to 17, then to 20,
Right.
and then which I know there's like some big streamers watching just laughing their ass off, and they're like, "Oh wow, 20 whole people watching your stream." But for me, that was a big deal. It's like a 2,000% increase. If and and at this point, I've gotten as high as like 60, 70 viewers. I think was the record, give or take. But yeah, it was pretty great. It was kind of instantaneous, steady growth from when I started.
Now, all those things that I do that I probably just do by reflex because I'm new to Twitch streaming. The bits and the skips, that money all comes to you eventually?
There's like a split, right? So it like yeah, so basically if someone pays like $25 for like 5 gift subs, I essentially get about half of it. Don't make me look up
Okay.
the actual percentage, but it turns out that and then there's levels, which I'm in the first bottom rung, but as you get into like bigger levels, you get a bigger percentage. Like you actually get like a 60%, 70% cut, I think, if you get up to the higher
Okay.
levels.
Now Twitch started as a gaming thing, right? I mean, that was what it first
Absolutely.
was. Yeah. So that I get because I think my son used to do that. I remember him say, "Oh, I'm gonna be on Twitch watch." People just watch people play games. I don't get that, but
Yeah, it's a little weird, but I mean, different strokes for different folks. But yeah, same here. I was like, I want to play the game. I don't really
yeah.
want to watch it.
No, I think why the AI music streams are successful. I think all of us who create AI music want our stuff to get in front of ears and eyes, right? I mean, and just having a YouTube channel, as you stated, doesn't necessarily mean people are going to see it.
Yeah, it doesn't mean
Uh,
anything. Yeah, especially on YouTube. I actually would tell people maybe start with Twitch or some other stream because YouTube is very discouraging if you don't have unless you have a niche like that YouTube is looking for. You know what I mean? And
yeah. Well,
you
I
know,
mean, I only have my AI music journey started almost 2 years ago. I have a little over 600 subscribers. I release my stuff on DistroKid. I get a royalty check every month, so people are listening out there. I mean, I can't buy a Lamborghini or anything, but it's free money.
it's free
I'm
money.
I'm not doing it for that. I'm just doing it because it's a creative outlet for me.
Same,
You
same, same.
you how much stress do you have putting on those streams? Because it just seems to me from watching from afar that it's a lot of work, a lot of things to keep track of, a lot of things to
Ooh.
keep going.
Yeah. So big shout out to the Sunday Funday crew that come in and their job is to mush me into the ground essentially. And I think their goal is to get me to inadvertently do a 24-hour stream. Just like, so I'm almost at battle with them to be like, no, guys, I can't. Like I physically can't. I'll just be like, there are certain shows that have gone like 16, 8. I think the record is 18 hours. And by the end, like the last 10 songs, I'm like this, I'm touching my face. I'm doing everything I can to say, it's bad. So I'm constantly a battle to try to keep the show length somewhat short, but give people fun so that, that we kind of rock out for a good long time. So that's always that's hard. That's hard to do. And yeah, I'm constantly changing rules. Now this is where I show that I'm green, just like you. I only got like a few months on you, at least in the Twitch realm. And I have to constantly change like incentives, and I'm trying to find the right fit for the show that keeps it fun, intriguing. I'm not trying to make it a money grab, but at the same time, I'm trying to find avenues where I can make some sort of money additional
Right.
as we go. But that provides something cool.
Is there any upfront cost to start a Twitch stream?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, for you got OBS, you're gonna
I hate OBS, by the way.
do you
I consider myself tech savvy, but for the life of me, I have 2 monitors. I had everything I needed. I just couldn't functionally get it to work where it seemed easy to me. I don't know.
No, it is very hard to learn it, and I had to force feed myself to do it because like StreamYard, the price just got pretty high for if you want like the better quality stuff, and OBS is free and it offers pretty quality.
Oh,
That's
wait
that's
Hold on, Felix. I'm using StreamYard. You mean I pay for StreamYard. They offer the same thing that OBS does?
they do. I mean, they're essentially offering the same service. The only thing is that they have like almost like a template, that you only have you have certain freedoms with your templates and stuff like that. I mean, it's very intuitive. Don't get me wrong. In fact, I used StreamYard for a very long time. Um, it's just, yeah, especially for like the premium plus or whatever, like their highest package, it's like $80 a month, and I'm like,
Yeah,
whoa,
I'm not doing that. No. I do
yeah,
it's like 47 I think it's 47.99. What a stupid number. 47.99 a
I
month.
know, right? Just say 50. Give me a break.
Yeah, I know. It makes no sense to me. But I mean, I
Yeah,
did that because I don't have there's no, watermarks on this stuff, and I could
yeah.
customize it. And because of the podcast, I mean, it made sense for me to do that. But, I mean, I didn't know it had the same capabilities of OBS, of bringing in, like, a stream, and I didn't know that.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, essentially, yeah, you can go live. Obviously, well, you know what you're doing with that. But as far as the one downside is like the reason I decided not to use StreamYard because it is music based. You
Right, right.
need OBS, because unfortunately, if you listen to audio on StreamYard, it is atrocious and no one really gets a clear picture. Like the most important thing of a music stream is to try to get as crystal clear as you can so that people can really hear the music.
Now do you this is I always thought about this when watching your streams. It hasn't happened since I've been watching, but do you pre-watch anything? Like, what if somebody sticks in the middle of a song, "Death to America" or anything, or like a porn clip? I mean, are you responsible if that happens?
Yeah, man, that's a problem. Now, with the AI play, they're a little bit better. So here's the deal, right? So pseudo songs is essentially what most people submit, and those are just songs. And if there's any visualizers that are attached to Suno, they have a very pretty strict filter, so you're not going to really see stuff like that, right? YouTube, same thing. People are submitting YouTube videos. So if they manage to slip in a frame and, like Fight Club style, you know what I
Right.
mean? And I guess it's on them. Maybe I'm sure maybe I could suffer the consequences, but the chances of that happening, I see are slim to none. So you don't really do that. I don't do like direct uploads. Like if someone emails me an MP4 or something like it, we don't do that. It's just usually links, and it's like YouTube or Suno. Those are the majority. Sometimes Marika.
What are your musical influences? Like, what do you listen to?
Um, my first a big boy band, like where I was like, okay, I'm becoming a teen and getting into it was Metallica.
Okay.
All right, so I would say maybe the first band I heard that kind of blew me away was it was like almost remember it vividly. It was like this dude brought me to his house and he like pulled it out almost like it was a porn stash, but he pulled out the stash of cassettes and he's like, dude, my brother, this is what he's got right here, and he pulls out Ride the Lightning. And if you're familiar with Metallica at all, that very
Yeah.
first track, By Fire with Fire, just kind of like, what is this? And then like, years later, uh, the Black Album comes out, and I was I was it, man. That was it. It was Metallica all day, every day. Eventually started growing into like Pantera, Slayer, White Zombie, Tool, all that stuff. So I was big into like the rock and metal there. And then I kind of did a swing back. Shit. I was into the Juggalo stuff, ICP, then hip hop and Wu Tang, and then I got into all that DMX 50. I was a musician, or still am, I should say, right? For 40 years plus. So I was always into music, playing bands, and then I got into hip hop production. So I actually got to work with some pretty known people in the industry. And just to be very clear, that very limited success on my part. But I did have those experiences, which were great.
Alright,
But then
well,
I got into the hip hop like that, and then then of course I go through my reggae phase, and I don't know how else to say I listen to everything. I mean, against
yeah, yeah,
electronica method.
that's me too. If it's good, I'll listen. It doesn't matter what genre or what style. Now, you sit through these streams and you don't have to answer this question. You can't honestly like everything that you hear or see that comes through on that stream.
I like everything, man. No, I'm just kidding. No,
Really?
no, you're 100% right. Now,
Now,
um,
I've never seen you trash something. So I've been on
no,
several streams already. I've never seen you say, "Oh, that's a piece of shit." I've never seen you do that. Is
yeah,
that ever running
sometimes
is that ever running through your head?
I've had it. You know what? There's been so many songs, right? So like maybe a diehard fan might be able to know which songs, but there's probably two songs that I was like, this is fuck that. But my mentality is this is Sunday Funday. This is not really a review show, right? So
Right.
if people want feedback, I try to be as constructive as I can. I do paint it with like a pretty brush. You know, the problem is I've been an artist for 40 years. When I was an artist for 10 years, when someone said they didn't like my song, I was, yo, to take the noose out of my hands, man. Like, you know, so I understand. Like sometimes, unfortunately, I kind of got to handle people with kind of kid gloves a little bit and put them in the right direction, especially if they're early on. Some people, especially if they've been in the business or at least been doing music for so long, they know not every song's gonna hit.
Right.
You know, and you can be a little bit more honest with them. But yeah, to straight out trash a song, ugh, I mean, it would have to probably be a song like it was a diss against me or something like that, and then I'll probably rip it apart. I would play it. I'll let people listen to it, but
Right.
I'd probably rip it apart after. But
Yeah, there's a term that's been floated around recently. I run the AI Music Society Facebook group.
Right.
That's my group. I was handed to me by the previous admin. But anyway, there's a term that's been floated around: toxic positivity,
Ooh, yes, very true.
where people, no matter what the track was or the video, they had something good to say about it. And this one person who coined that phrase, I'm not going to say his name, but he knows who he is. He said, "Why do you have to say something good about something? Sometimes stuff is shit, and you're not helping anybody by saying that it's good." But I sort of I'm on the fence with that. You could do both and
Yeah.
still encourage somebody. You don't have to shit all over it. And I don't think any positivity is toxic. That's where I'm going.
Yeah. Um, I think I think there is toxic positivity that you can 100% do it. And I'll explain because again, in my situation, while I don't trash a song, I'm not going to be like, yo, this song's a fucking hit. You need to go ahead and spend your money on promotion. Get this in the radio. Get this to every DJ in America as soon as you can right now, because this is the best song I've heard you make so far. Whatever. That is 100% toxic positivity. You're gassing this dude's head up, and it's probably a mediocre song. But again, in my case, I would say like there is a gem in every pile of shit. You know what I mean? Like there's an idea in there. There's something, and that's what I try to focus on. Like I see what you're trying to do. Sometimes I'll give them direction. Like listen, if this is the final version, this is the final version. This is what it is. Just
Right.
work on your next one. This is what it is. But if this is a work in progress and you want to hear my feedback so you can develop it, I would tell you maybe shorten a song, maybe try a different genre style to kind of, I'll try some type of feedback like that. I'm sure you've caught that a couple of times.
Mhm.
Um, and again, most of the time I do just kind of want to let the music speak for itself. I think that's most important because one thing that I learned is that my opinion is shit. Just like, everyone, like at the end of the day, our opinions are shit. I'm one man's opinion. I'm probably wrong. And guess what? As long as I've been on this earth, I've been more wrong than right. So if I think a song is bad and it turns out being a Grammy winner, that would be the norm, not the exception.
Yeah, it's all subjective too, Felix. I mean,
Mhm.
art, music, food. I mean, everyone has their own slant and opinion on it. You can't really take that from anybody.
Yeah.
During the streams, have you ever encountered someone who was just trying to fuck with the stream? Like, you have the ability to boot somebody out, right?
Yeah. 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 I think that's happened. I have a mod. Shout out to Darren Ryle and Tech Cowgirl that they're wonderful mods on the stream. But yeah, if anyone like tries to spam like links and stuff like that, they get kind of axed. Um, I am very weary um about like people bullying and stuff like that. Like as far as banning them, because I'd rather toast them,
Right. Yeah.
quite
Yeah.
frank.
Yeah.
Um, unless you come in using words on the stream that'll get us banned, I'm pretty much like say what you want. Just be ready for the response. I haven't really been tested to that extreme yet. But the conversations get wild. Luckily, I would say 99.9% of my experience there with, especially with the chat, has been absolutely wonderful.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything out of the ordinary. Again, I've been on I think 4 or 5 streams. So I have not seen anything that what made me say, "Ooh." I was on a stream the other night. It was called Work in Progress, stream, and you're supposed to
Sure.
put up a song that you're working on, and this I forgot the name of the guy who was hosting it. And this guy just starts to pick apart the lyrics and, like, I get it, work in
Yeah.
progress, and I guess he's giving his opinion, but he was, like, asking me, "Well, what did you wanna convey with the song? And then maybe you should say this," and it was like a 45-minute dissertation on my lyrics
Jeez.
to that song.
Rewriting the entire song, essentially.
Yeah, which is fine. I guess if people don't have a direction or don't they're a little weary on what they wrote, maybe that's a good idea. But,
Yeah, and that's a tough dance, to balance, I guess, because, yeah, sometimes I'll hear a song and I'll hear a totally different thing going on, but I gotta be very careful with that because again, like I said just 3 minutes ago, my opinion probably wrong. There's a good chance, and, people will hear a track and absolutely love it, so sometimes I do wanna steer people in a certain direction. One of the big things I always tell people, the best thing you can do if you're generating AI music is to try to generate your own lyrics as much as possible. Don't be afraid
yeah.
to use AI to help you, but don't rely on it to just write your lyrics. You're gonna make slop, unfortunately. Some of it still sounds good and is still enjoyable. So, I mean, if we get into slop, that's a whole other talk.
Yeah, I do write my own lyrics. People are my audience is probably so tired of hearing this fucking story already, but my AI journey, I was moving to another house, and I found my lyric binder from when I was in high school, when I was in a band, and I had over 300 songs written, lyrics, full lyrics.
Wow.
So, I said, "Well, I don't know what to do with this now," and then I found Suno and put them all to music, so and now
Oh,
I ran out of those lyrics. It spurred me to write new stuff, and I do write my own lyrics. But, to all those haters out there, sometimes you wanna use the word chains or mist.
neon echoes and whispers in the midnight blast or
Some
whatever.
yeah, but sometimes you need to say neon in the lyrics.
Yes,
As soon as people see neon, they go, "Oh,
there it
ChatGPT
is.
lyric."
Yeah, that's kinda Suno's fault, because I'm that way. I'm guilty as charged. If I hear neon, my ears perk up. "Oop, what's going on here?" And then I have to listen to the rest of the lyrics because you're 100% right. Sometimes neon fits. Sometimes whispers fits.
Yeah,
Echoes, midnight echoes, somehow it works. 100% right. But you can't like I can't blame the listener who's or the person who's been using Suno for like 2 years. When they hear
yeah,
neon,
yeah, yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
It's gonna be a natural reaction. Now, the person who hears it and then counts the song off altogether, like writes it off altogether, that I wouldn't recommend. I think you're doing yourself a disservice as a listener.
I agree. So, Felix, in the Twitch community, is it cutthroat or is there a camaraderie amongst everybody who has their own stuff going on?
Oh man, yeah, man. It's eat or be eaten in this. This is a jungle out there, midnight tea, discover your music. Yeah, you gotta watch out for these guys. Now they're absolutely wonderful. I'll be honest with you, this is the best community I have ever been a part of. I I'm enjoying the ride as long as it goes and the law doesn't get involved and screws us out of this experience. So whatever, every day is a blessing. Hands down, the best community because it's a lot of like starving artists, struggling artists, part-time artists, and we're all united, just listening to each other's music. Again, the maybe rare instances where like maybe someone's a little too harsh with the critique. I mean, that stuff's minor, man. And even like because the critique is too harsh does not make it false. My advice to you guys, and to anybody who's a new artist, especially, get used to having your music trashed.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, and you have to get used to it. And I would actually encourage you to submit music to like those to the hardcore ones if you really want uh uh like an honest critique. And again, that's not really my show. I will give you like I'll give you some honest feedback, but I'll try to keep it positive, like I said. But if you want the harsh truth, I would actually recommend sometimes you do that, or submit it to like an A&R or something like that where you pay like $10. See
Right.
what you get back, and if it's disappointing, let it sit, let it marinate, but don't let it kill. The problem is, it's like Rocky Balboa. He goes, it's not how hard you hit, it's how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward, right?
Moving
So
forward.
you got to learn to take the punches, man. Do not let a bad review, do not let that stop you. Okay, don't let it cloud your judgment. Be like, no, this song is good. That's not what I'm saying. If the song is
Right.
trash,
Right.
it might take you a while to realize it. That's happened to me. But at least focus on the next song.
Yeah.
If you can't do that, then this isn't for you. But get past that initial, oh, this person doesn't like my music. These guys don't understand. Yeah, that's how it goes. I'm sorry. That's how it is.
That's life. Uh, you
Mm.
mentioned something interesting. I wanted to circle back on that. What do you mean? You said if the law doesn't get involved and shut it down, what avenue would that be that it would shut Twitch down?
It's a little hyperbolic, so forgive me for saying it. But like, as far as these other like mainstream labels, just
Oh,
lawsuits and all this stuff, and then um it's like Suno. Sometimes I go back and forth because sometimes I feel like Suno's trying to throttle their machinery or whatever, and like sometimes I do think their censorship's a little too much. Like, even if I want to do like a public domain song, like I was trying to do some Catholic hymns and stuff on mine and try to do different twists on it. It's like, oh, this is copyrighted by who? Catholic Church copyright? No, that these
right,
are
right.
these are public domain, but you can't make that distinction yet. So that's kind of an issue. And the reason that's an issue is because they're trying to avoid lawsuits from like Sony or
Okay.
whatever, all these other
Okay.
people.
I'm always confused because sometimes I'll do a review of music on my podcast and I would put up a 10-second clip of the song. And my stuff goes out on Spotify and YouTube and Amazon, and I'll get a copyright strike. But TikTokers can play well, I watch TikTok live streams, they can play any fucking song they want. How is that? I don't understand the distinction.
Hey, it's a big club, and you ain't in it, Dick. Me and you are.
So that's
We got it's a delicate dance. We gotta dance, man. And yeah, it's rules for thee, not for me. That's one thing I've learned, especially in YouTube. I mean, TikTok, I don't even bother, but
I have a couple friends who are streamers, and I like to support them when they go live and everything, but the one woman that I go on her stream, she's playing shit off of Alexa. So I
yeah. Yeah, it comes down to view. Like I stopped trying to make sense of it. Again, this is why, like with YouTube, I stopped with the vidIQ and the proper, like, well, how should I tag this? How should I title this? This song changed my life. Check out what. Like, I'm not doing that shit anymore. This is the name of the song. Listen to it. Don't. And you know what? The page shows it. As much love as I get, like you still see it. Like most of the new songs, new releases, they stay under 100 views for like a while. So I kind of let
yeah.
that go at that point.
It's funny too because I have a couple you're right. A lot of my songs on YouTube hover between 100 and 300 views, but I have 2 tracks that I thought were bullshit that were just throwaway tracks that are over 3,000 views. I don't understand it. I'm like, this is the song that gets over 3,000 views? I think it's a piece of shit.
That's how it is, man. That is, listen, any artist who's listening to this right now, whether in AI or pre-AI, before AI, I want to know in the comments if you've ever had this experience. Have you ever released a song that you thought was mid, and all of a sudden, all your friends, and I was like, yo, this is your best song. I want to know if that's ever happened. Please let me know because that has indeed happened to me. Welcome to the club. You know,
Yeah. It's
I,
ponderous, man. I just don't understand it. I mean,
I have a song called Sails of Destiny, right? It's a sea shanty that was made with like Suno 3 or 3.5, like one of the early iterations. And that got up to like 15,000 views.
get out.
Like,
That's crazy.
yeah. And on Spotify, it's my most successful track. And it's like a simple sea shanty. It's kind of cool. Don't get me wrong, but it's like still like Suno 3.5. So it isn't really crisp. And it still performs pretty good.
Was that your first, software that you did music on was Suno? Is that where you were introduced to it?
With AI music, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Suno 3, I think it's been like 2 years now, but I
I
was
fucked
hooked.
around I fucked around with Donna. I don't know if you remember Donna, and there was another
No.
thing called I Love Song AI. And then I found Suno, but, listen, I think Suno's fun. I think
Love it.
I use it I use it a lot for my podcast for, like, intro music and stuff like that because it's just easy. Uh,
Yeah, it's fun and fun. I literally, I'm working on. It's funny, man. Just to tie two things in, I'm working on a theme song for Sunday Funday right now as we speak. In fact, I was working on it a little bit before the show. And in those lyrics, I have neon echoes, whispers. I mean, and again, it's on purpose because we're playing with AI music, so I incorporated those words into the song. So yeah, absolutely. No, it's fun. Guys, don't worry about the people who hate because you're just not going to change their mind and leave, leave 'em alone. Who cares? We got our own party.
yeah, you're right. How many hours a week do you spend on the show? I mean, there's gotta be
Well,
prep time too, right? You don't just sit down in front of the thing and turn it on and then it goes, right?
boom. Yeah, right. No, it isn't a lot. See, I do have a day job, and so that's been kind of a balancing act. Like what I'll do, sometimes I'll dedicate a day or two to try to set up and improve my template so it is pick up and go. And
Right.
that would probably be my effort. Sometimes it's developing thumbnails, and that would probably be like the most of the time that it take.
Do what? You default the thumbnails you said?
Yeah, yeah, and I use default. Again, I'm so low effort. Again, I'm actually starting to expand with like a bit of a crew who can help me with some of the menial stuff. And hopefully it'll improve the quality, improve views and stuff, and get us into higher tiers and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
you
But
mentioned, having a crew, man. I'm getting to the point with the podcast now that I need someone to do something for me because I have a day job too, and this is taking up between that, the Facebook group, I really don't have time for much of anything else.
yeah, it would take like we're both like Hassan Piker or Osmond Gold level status for us to be able to just say, well, I guess I'm gonna have to quit the day job and we could just dedicate, and then do all that. But unfortunately, we can't. So now me and you are probably getting in a similar situation where it's like, yes, the show is growing, there's more work to do, but there's not much money being generated to justify making a crew. So you kind of have
Yeah.
to go
Oh,
the intern route and like, if you get bigger, you reestablish agreements and stuff like that. And so this way you make sure your crew gets paid like
so
where they're
Felix,
happy.
let's be totally clear and total transparency. This podcast, generates no money. It's work, fun work. I love what I'm doing, but I haven't got a sponsor yet or anything. So, and look, I don't even know if I really wanna go down that road. Maybe if it falls into my lap, yeah, but I'm
Actually turned
afraid that
down a sponsorship.
you did.
Yeah. Yeah. I got offered a sponsorship for AI. Uh, an AI system. I don't want to get too specific. They were like, make some videos, put it in your live podcast. You get a commission for everything sold. And here, try the site out. I tried the site out. I thought it was overpriced. Didn't think
Okay.
it delivered. It wasn't that great of a product, unfortunately. And I told them, I was like, listen, I don't want to I don't wanna do that live, which, like, call out your name while you're still working on your site, so thank you, but maybe after some updates, I'm happy to revisit it. So, yeah, if guys, you get offered a sponsorship, as enticing as it sounds, don't just come out you'll come out as, like, some sort of shell, like, you know what I mean? And, it can really backfire if you don't sponsor the right product.
Yeah. Where do you see the future of Twitch? I mean, is there any room for like I don't wanna say maybe expansion is not the right term, but improvements? Is there anything that it hasn't done yet that you think it could do?
Oh, man, I mean, I'm still too new to the space, I'm still discovering stuff with it. Um And to be honest, they kinda got a good thing going. Now, again, maybe their algorithm isn't great either. It's better with me than it is to YouTube, or I mean, who knows, but I can't really make that call. I don't think that's the case. I gotta say it, maybe 95, 98% of my experience has been pretty good. I really can't think of too much negative to say. Yeah,
No, that's good
it's
'cause
interesting.
and in watching your streams and being on them, it just seems like you're having a good time too, which I think is infectious, and that feeds off of the energy for everybody else in the room. Like, I've been in some rooms where the guy doesn't even seem like he wants to be there.
Oh man, so I've been to those, and like, or like if it gets silent for way too long, like, the song ends and then it's just,
Yeah.
and then after 5 seconds it's like, well, that was Neon Shadows by Starface. Thank you very much, and let's go to the next track. Here it is. You're like, oh my god,
Now,
you know.
have you toyed with the idea, and I you could answer it honestly, those there are some Twitch streams that have those, I'm gonna use an adjective, those stupid
Please,
games, those, like, attack, I
the
hate that, I really do. It takes away, it just distracts me from everything else.
yeah. I like I've toyed with the idea of doing like the marble races and but I'm kind of with you on it. Can we just focus on the music now? There is the one caveat I have is I also showcase. I'm sorry for the blur, by the way. I don't know what the heck's going on, but I do my best to showcase like memes also, and AI images that the creators make and videos. So I mean, there's that aspect of it. But yeah, like when we start, that's like kind of media to consume. When people are watching the marbles race, like sometimes I can get, you're not listening to the song so much. You
Right.
know.
Yeah. I find it distracting. How important do you think Discord is? Because you have a Discord channel as well. Is that on the same par as your Twitch stuff, or is Twitch bigger? And
I've learned to use both of those to my advantage. So Twitch, you definitely want a Discord. I think you have a Discord too, right? Yeah. So, but like, yeah, you
I
want
do.
to have them. You want to have them linked if you can, because you can offer special perks to people who subscribe on Twitch, and I think YouTube too. I'm just not monetized on YouTube either. By the way, 8 years still not monetized on YouTube. So I feel
You
your
know,
pain.
you yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, like, this one, I absolutely recommend using Discord and Twitch, in tandem. I'm still learning Discord, and so I'm new to both of those. I've had those very, like, sparingly beforehand, but now it's, like, part of my shtick, so.
Yeah, self-proclaimed tech savvy, as I said before, but for some reason, every time I go on a Discord stream, something's not working. I can't hear the music, I can only hear talking, and I don't know, I just, it's
Yeah,
just not as smooth as Twitch or as YouTube, but
yeah.
it could be me, I don't know. I
Yeah,
did
no,
set
no,
up a Patreon.
100%.
I did set up a Patreon for subscribers who get special content. I still have 0, members yet, but I just did that, like, a month ago.
Guys, just to let you know, this whole thing has been a farce. Me and Dick are actually the same person, apparently. We have literally the same stats. I literally found my doppelganger. No, man, same here. I tried a Patreon, no one gave a shit. Like almost anything, it's what it is. It's, you're swimming against the stream, So I'm with
Yeah,
you.
but if you don't try, how are you gonna know, right? I mean,
100%.
so, I'm doing all the things. One of the cool things that I've found interesting the last month or 2 for me with the podcast, so I've done some, I don't wanna say big, but prominent tribute artists and stuff that I've interviewed, and when those episodes went out, I'm getting contacted by other people to come on the show, which I thought was fantastic because normally it's me asking people to come on, and I'm getting emails and DMs from other tribute artists or other, guitarists or piano players that wanna come on. So I was happy about that. I mean, that to me is a small victory.
That's a ginormous victory, and again, we are the same person because, I got into the space, AI music, because I was doing it for a while and just kinda on my own, releasing stuff, and it was doing very mediocre, at best, and, I ended up, like, on a whim, decided to look up if there's any AI music communities, and this is how I found it, and I submitted to Matt, AI DIY, shout out to him,
I
who
love
is,
Matt.
I love Matt, who was the actually, he didn't interview me, but he was the first to showcase me. He heard one of my Ninja Turtle tribute tracks of all things, and he was like, "Yeah, I'd like to, feature it." He played it, and fair enough. It actually got my video a bunch of views, and it got me into the community full force. Again, I ended up checking out Zanzibar. If you guys haven't seen him, he's been doing that for a really long time. He's got a really fun wheel show. have been on as much, but he was one. Once I got in my foot in the door and started getting into the
Right.
community, then like I said, it's off to the races. It was really cool.
Yeah, Matt's a good guy. I've been on his show. I've interviewed him on my show. I was one of the top 5 featured artists as well. I like his theme things, his theme challenges.
Yeah,
And he's another one that struggles, and I'm not speaking out of turn because we've had the discussions about,
sure.
monetization and getting eyes on the channel, and he has exponentially much more traction than I have on my podcast, but I mean, he's doing something righter than I am, if that's a grammatically correct statement.
We'll accept it. But yeah,
Yeah.
no, I again, I agree. I would love to see Matt just kind of kill it on Twitch. I think he would kill it on Twitch. Would love to
Yeah.
raid his show at one point. But yeah, he's laying it down on YouTube, and again, his community. This is another one. Like again, he's positive, but he's not toxic positive.
No, no, he's not.
To kind of
No,
tie
but
it
it's
back,
funny
he gives good feedback.
it's funny, Felix, though, you say community, right? Like, so, AI Music Society on Facebook, there's over 2,000 members, right? But it's really a core group of 35 of us that
35
interact.
going
Yeah.
strong.
That interact on a daily basis, right? So,
Yeah.
and it's always a challenge. How do we get I mean, over 2,000 people joined, so they joined for a reason. How do you engage that other segment of that population that just doesn't seem to care? They care enough to join, but then they just drop off.
Yeah, it's Facebook, man. I mean, like, even I'm guilty of it. I was like, "Oh, I like this group," and then I'll fucking never go in there, never, So, like, how many times, we've all done it. We've all done it. So, it's just we focus on the people who are participating. Our 35 core, I wouldn't trade them for 2,000 click and goes. You know what I mean? I would trade them for that. So I'll take my 35, my Mika Rays, my Tech Cowgirl, my Raven Himes, all these guys. They show up. Was it Smalley, Sin Kane? I want to shout them all out, but and if I didn't, I love you guys anyway. But like they show up week after week. They bring solid music and all different, like different stuff, and they keep the show fun, they keep the show engaging. I focus on them, and guess what? That does infect, I guess a worse word, but that does spread to other people who come and join. And I've had
Right.
there's people who've been there since the beginning, right? Like again, Mika, Tech, all them, and then there's people who've been here for like a month or two. I think Smalley and yourself, I believe, right?
Yeah.
And there's people who are coming in and are on board. We focus on the people who want to be here, and they deserve a good show, and I'm gonna give it to them, man. I guess that's how I try to look at it.
No, you succeed at it, sir. I mean, it's engaging. It's that there's a group of people that are in there. I mean, you could have conversations while stuff's going on. It's not just people. I've been on Twitch streams where all that's in the chat are those dancing emojis. There's no conversation. There's fireballs and dancing this and dancing that. I say to myself, "What's the point of that?" I guess that's a way to say you like the music, I guess.
I am such a sucker for those two. I mean, like I love those dancing emojis. I am a participant of the dancing emojis. But yeah, it is a cool way to show that you like it. And I'll tell you what it is. This is like kind of like I like syncing the dancer to the music. That's all it
Right.
comes down to. If you got a cool one and is dancing to the beat of the song, he's like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I would definitely take those as ginormous compliments. I like how creative they can get. But yeah, no, we got to move past that. My big number one is I try to talk as little as possible during a song.
Yeah.
I think that's a big advice to anybody out there. Do your absolute best to not talk during a song. Sometimes a little, wow, that sounds dope or whatever. That sometimes that'll slip. Sometimes I'll break that rule. But 9 times out of 10 I should have. Let the song
Right.
rock out, then address what you got to address.
Now, back to AI play. Senzu developed that, right?
Yes, from what I understand, it was Senzu's thing. Yeah.
So, did he monetize? Like, did somebody buy that, or has he made it and he's just letting everybody? I mean,
Yeah, no, he's running it. He's updating it. He's
okay,
maintaining it. Yeah, yeah, and he's doing a really great job with it, in my opinion. I know, like, I would give my one minor critique, and I think the wheel needs tweaking. Like, I don't know how the randomness sounds. And again, this is outside looking in. I don't know the inner mechanics, but I've seen some things where the wheel doesn't quite appear as random as it should be. Um, but that being said, just like my show, I AI play is a work in progress. It's constantly being updated, and this is still a new space, so we have to figure out what works and what doesn't work. So I give all the grace to Senzu because again, without him and without Twitch, like that, I was the AI. If you're looking to get AI music, AI play, Twitch, and Discord, you get those three set up, you should be good to go.
yeah. The thing that one complaint that I have, and I don't think this is you could set the show to accept explicit or not explicit. That's something you decide,
Yeah, I
right?
decided, and we go
Okay.
explicit.
Okay. For the streams that don't allow explicit, I cannot submit any Dick Button songs because of the first name.
That's yeah. Again, this is what it comes down to when this is where AI technology lacks context to distinguish dick as a name as
Mhm.
an insult or you know what I mean, or dick, but it's that's yeah, I think that gets a little annoying. I mean, I think these improvements are on the way. I would I would recommend some sort of patience. I have seen Senzu just like update stuff immediately, and sometimes I've seen him work through weekends, uh, holidays. I'm pretty not July 4th, but what was Memorial Day? I'm pretty sure he was like
Mhm.
working on the site. So he's doing his thing. I feel like such a shill for him right now, but he like I've genuinely seen him. Yeah, and I've genuinely seen him like really trying to make a good site. So
I
what
mean,
else can I
listen,
tell
there
you?
are superstars in our community that I feel go above and beyond. Matt's one of them. Senzu's one of them. I think you're one
Yeah.
of them. I think you
Wow.
really try to put together something that's enjoyable for everybody. You keep it moving. The other night, you had all those polls up there about how to change the show, about the wheel and everything. You're giving it back to the people to decide. When ultimately you could probably make the decision by
Yeah.
yourself. But
Yeah. 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 You got to be weary. There is you don't want them to dictate the show altogether, but their feedback is extremely important. Like I need to know what works and what doesn't work. All right, and like right now, like the big thing for my show is I want people there. If you submit, you got to be there. You got to be there.
I'm
Why?
with you.
Because I need your views. You know?
I'm with you on that. However, if you don't buy a skip and there's 100 songs on the wheel, sometimes I
What are you
don't
gonna
have the
do?
I know, but I'm with you. I'm
Right.
I'm with you 100%, but I don't have
Yeah.
the time to sit there for that long, right?
So,
So
if I may, what I'm developing for the show
I
is
know
like an immunity status. And I think you've talked about an immunity status. So like especially like the people like who are on my top uh cheerers and top gifters, they have immunity. These guys put in a lot of money and time. Now if you look at everybody on the top subscribers, they are also always there. So they have immunity. I'm gonna offer immunity to people who do give subscriptions and stuff like that. So if you're not there, I'll play your song regardless. You don't got to worry about it, this, that, or the
right,
other.
right,
But if
right.
you're some newbie, this is your first time here, you're not gonna drop your track and then just leave, or God forbid you show up and the wheel opens up and we get chaos mode and it's five submissions and this dude dumps five tracks and they're all like super long and then goes, peace. I'm gonna go listen to another to another stream while I wait for that song to get played. Nah, I got that
Right.
I'm fighting against. If, you're on my show, I want you hanging out with me. I understand double fisting streams. I've done it too, but I do want to command a certain amount of attention for the show.
No, I mean, I think that's valid, 100% valid.
Yeah.
And,
But
I don't mind paying for a skip because if you don't have a lot of time and you don't have time, the skip is perfect because At least you know. But then I've been on streams where where there's
All
4,000
skips.
skips. Yeah.
All skips. Yeah, it's no longer a wheel show, it's a queue show. So now it's a queue, that you paid to be on. And my counter against that is I open skips very, very, very sparingly, very little. I'll say something like, all right, guys, check this out. I'm gonna open up the skip queue when I'm gonna hear 3 entries and I'm shutting it off. So if you're there, again, this is another way to get people to pay attention, right? There's
Yeah.
certain things that happen in the show that if you're not there, you miss out. You really miss out. I have the chaos mode now, where it's like all the submissions open up and you can submit up to 5 songs, right? And it's like it's only for 69 seconds, right? And then once that ends, that closes. If you're not there for that, you miss out,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, listen, it's a lot to do. I don't want to blow smoke up your ass, but I commend you for the job that you do. It's one of my favorite streams. I don't do a lot of the Twitch yours, and I think I Legion every now and then. I'm on
Oh,
his
Legion, he's great.
and Senzu's when they do it. I'm on there too. Where are they located? Are they out of the country?
Yeah, I don't know. I've dug through their trash. I know their exact address and all that stuff, so
Oh, well,
I'm not gonna disclose it.
I didn't want to have the address. They're out of the country. That you can just say
Yeah,
yes
I
or
think
no.
so. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I think so. I'm pretty sure they're like in Norway or something like that. But I don't know. And again, like there are people of like, oh, I think they're in Australia, and then they're like in the UK. So it's
Right.
total midwit, man. I'm telling you.
All right, I want to end on this, Felix. Where do you see AI music going? I always ask people when I have them on, especially when they're involved in the AI music world. Where do you see how it all plays out in the end?
Oh man. I think it'll continue to grow. I think with a caveat. Again, it depends on who fights back and what they fight back against. Um, it could be a slow, whimpering death. I don't think we're going to see an over reliance on it. This is the one thing I tell people, especially for the real musicians, and it's coming from a real musician. I hate to break it to you. Uh, the live act ain't going nowhere. Even if you have holograms and robots playing it, yeah, they'll have a niche audience and people kind of want to see that I'm sure is interesting. But seeing a live band, that's your niche. So, don't complain and if you're an artist out there, don't compete with AI tracks for listens online. Book shows.
Right. Yeah.
Book
Uh,
shows. Book shows at your pub, book shows at, small venues, concerts, opening acts. Do what you got to do. Make live videos. That, go where AI ain't. You'll be fine.
right. I mean, the caveat to that, I'm a big Kiss fan. They're working on that Vegas hologram thing, like ABBA did. I don't know if you ever seen clips of the ABBA show.
No, but I saw Tupac in hologram. I don't know if you've seen that's an old one. But
Yeah,
when
that's
they
an old
start bringing
one.
out that,
The ABBA one, I mean, if you didn't know, you would think it was them on stage, and that was 10 years ago, that technology. Kiss is developing a whole new and technology is so advanced now from 10 years ago.
yeah.
They're
Well, that's
building a
Project
special
Bluebeam. That's Project Bluebeam, guys. This is how they're gonna fake the alien invasion and get us to worship fake aliens. Should we
wait a
end on
minute,
that
fake
note?
aliens? Aliens aren't real, Felix? Come on.
Yeah, I think aliens are fake.
Oh, you don't believe? Oh, we could do
I
a whole
don't believe.
podcast on that.
Please, yeah, man. Yeah,
You
yeah. Oh man,
honestly I'm gonna ask you one question. You honestly think that the human race is the most intelligent thing out there?
yes, I believe
We're
we
in
were
trouble.
divinely created. Yeah, well, here's the deal. Here's the deal. I think we're corrupted. Again, I'm coming from a Catholic worldview. We have original sin on us, and we're corrupted. We're disgusting human beings that need salvation and stuff like that. Yeah, I 100% believe that aliens are fake, and I
Wow.
think, yeah, and, yeah, I had to turn around on it, man.
No,
It
that's
was a
fine.
big.
I mean, listen, I love having discussions like that because I firmly believe that there's something out there. Just by science alone, there are so many galaxies that mimic our galaxy, and there's that we know about, and there's ones that we don't know about. For me, I think it's short-sighted to think that there's nothing else out there.
I'll grant you that. Listen. I'll grant you that. I think let's give you that out there somewhere, distant
Yeah.
galaxy, distant solar system. There's life. Yeah,
Mhm.
sure, I could say that. not one point do I believe there's Nordics and lizard people that are coming and landing on the White House lawn in the dead of night and making secret deals that they're not going to expose themselves to us. Like, so aliens are gonna blow a tire on through the solar system and just yo Earth, let's crash land there, and then they're gonna land there, right? And know to that there's a president of a country and know that they can only speak to representatives of so-called. So they have to understand military rank. They have to understand what top secret is, and they have to they have to understand that cows aren't the race, or you know what I mean. Like all of that is so ridiculous, guys. Don't fall for that. And in fact, yeah, this you go into you can find clips of what is it, the Werner von Braun. Find out his history. But his assistant lady who told us, like, Werner von Braun told her, they're going to fake an alien invasion. They're going to fake a terrorist attack first. They're going to make us afraid of comets and asteroids, which already happened a few years ago, where they started saying, "Hey, dude, how many times have we heard that fucking story? And how many movies did they make about a comet crash landing?" And she said the very next thing is fake aliens. So guys, keep out there. Yeah, I'm not saying there's no aliens out there. I could totally be wrong. Yeah, I mean, I personally don't think there are. But I'm open to the idea that there are, just to be clear. I'm not shut out, like absolutely not. I'm not doing that. But I am shutting out that they're here, that they can talk. If anything, they're demons. Thank you for having me.
No, man, listen. I'm having you on again. I'm having you on again, and we're talking about this. This will be the whole fuck AI music. We're going to talk about aliens and demons. I'm glad you brought up demons too, because I'm a firm believer. And listen, I was brought up Catholic as well.
Yeah.
Because I was brought up Catholic, at a very young age, I saw the hypocrisy of it all, and we don't have to get into that now.
Oh, that's 100%.
But there is that saying, if you believe in good, you have to believe in evil. Like, I have friends who are so religious, but they discount demons and all that stuff. But then, well, how do you believe in good?
How do you believe?
And not believe in evil?
I'll tell you this. It was me seeing the evil that brought me back to the light, because I was also brought up Catholic. I fell off. I wasn't, I didn't have any negative experience per se, but I start questioning God, and then sin and being a kid and rebellious and all that shit. And I fell away. But then for a while I believed it was all whatever, but then everything's evil. Everything's weird. Everything that certain Christians told us that we're going to be like, what would you say, slippery slopes, and then we laughed at them and they just turned out to be right. And then there's a lot of things that I saw that was like, evil is real. And then to quote George Clooney from Dusk Till Dawn, he goes, if there is if there's a hell and these sons of bitches are from there, then there's got to be a heaven.
For everybody who tuned in to hear lighthearted conversation about Twitch and AI music, welcome to the show.
Yes. And boy, aren't we
No.
What a twist, right? So M. Night Shyamalan wrote this.
We're getting on together. We're gonna have this whole thing. We're gonna do a whole nother segment on this. I promise you. Okay.
Oh, bless you. What a great little tease, right, for the next one. I can't wait.
Yeah. Hey, man. I thank you for coming on, and I appreciate what you do. AI music is a salvation for me. It's my escapism, and you were one of those people who brings it and does it right. And I really appreciate what you do.
Thank you so much. And guys, if you haven't been to the show, please, you're invited. It's on Twitch, twitch.com/StarFaceRadio. I would love to have you there. You can submit music, just hang out, send memes, talk shit, have fun. We're going to have a great time. And Dick, especially, I look forward to seeing you there. I think you're going to like some of the changes that I've been working on since our last show. Of course, it's always a work in progress, but thank you again so much for having me. Pressure.
And what I'll do, I'll send you a list of all my personas. That way you'll know who Dick Buttons is when a song gets submitted.
Oh yeah. I need that, man. You know how many times, I can't remember. If you have two names, fuck you, man. No, not really, but it's just so hard to remember them. I'm like, oh man, you said you're Josh 5.0, but in your stream name is Alex something. Like, don't do that to me.
I was enjoying. Hey man, thanks again, and I'll talk to you soon.
Bless you. Laters, everybody.